So as it stands, how will you be able to manage, hydra-headed situations like that of Nigeria if you cannot manage crisis in your own political party?
No, that is far from that. We are managing our crisis effectively.
But you are in court.
Definitely. It's
A lot of court cases.
You see, court is not for animals. Court is for human beings. And the purpose of court is to settling disputes. So when people,
especially those you could not solve,
yes, or yes, when you approach court, it's so that you are peace-loving somebody.
Is that true?
Yes, when you approach court. If you don't approach court, definitely you can resort to violence. So going to court is not a crisis. It's just a mere dispute. Dispute is quite different from crisis. So we are managing our dispute by way of law, following the due process, so that we don't resort to sabotage. And that is the whole essence of court. We may have 100 cases in court. That does not mean that we are not managing it. We're only waiting for the outcome of the court, so that individual will know his or her rights. And then we come back to the table and we come. And at least we can speak with one voice and to champion whatever our cause is. So ADC has no crisis. Many people don't understand what crisis is all about. If there is crisis,
what do you have?
We have just disputes, disagreements. And disagreement is bound to happen when two new people or three individuals comes together. They want to live together. Definitely they don't know each other well. The next thing for them is to come out with their differences, and then is ability to manage that differences. The purpose of court is just to see that individual or certain group are not be such a short change, or there is bias judgment within the party structure. At least when you take it to an umpire that can look at it dispassionately and then come out with, when they review the whole cases, and come out with the outcome that will favor everyone. What we are fighting for in ADC is how to entrench internal democracy within our party. And then the only institutions of society that can bring that sanity is law court. Nobody should be afraid to go to law court to enforce one right or the other. And that is why it's for human beings.
There's something I want to react to. Okay. But then, before you react to that, I would love Barrister Binku Adelon to talk about it, and then I'll take your reaction on it. Over the weekend, there was a gathering in Ibadan, which brought together the likes of His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, former Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, former candidate of the Labour Party in the last general election, that is Peter Obi. You had the likes of Rauf Aregbesola, former governor of Osun State, and Babachir Lawal, and a host of other people, stakeholders in the opposition. Now, some said you had a coalition of opposition parties in Oyo State, and you were all there to have a meeting and discuss on how to field a singular candidate in the next general election, just to counter the current administration. And then some political parties said, no, we were not there. What you had in Ibadan was a gathering of people who are aggrieved, who are angry at this administration for some reasons, and not because if parties like Accord said they were not there, Labour Party said they were never there, and some other political parties like that, including ABGA, they said they were never in Ibadan. So, who were those that were in Ibadan? Are they members of ADC who have come to say, let's have a different meeting?
You know that the gathering on Saturday, the political summit, is not for the state chapter of the party. It's for the national level of the party. Meaning that every political party that has national outlook, has national presence, they are the one gathered on Saturday.
So Labour Party has no national presence?
Of course, you should know now.
But they gathered over 6 million votes in the last election.
That is because of an individual. That is the presence of the Peter Obi.
Are you saying Accord has no national?
I'm not talking about Accord, because I'm talking about the political summit. If they are not there, they should tell the whole world the reason they are not there. Maybe they were not invited. Come out that he was contacted. I mean, his party was contacted, but they just
decided not to come.
Not to come. Then when you are talking about all those political parties, you understand, it takes a very big party to form an opposition against the ruling party. Not just mushroom political parties.
So, Badru Oriyomi, why was your political party absent at the Ibadan summit?
Well, in an ideal democracy, politics is supposed to be of national interest. And what me and our party we feel like it was a gathering of convenience, not political of interest.
Not the interest of Nigerians.
That's the fact. Because if you look at the people involved, they are those people that have held position in this country. They've been there before. So now what changed? Because we were here in 2023 when they were making the coalition, the G5 and the likes. Accord was never part of those coalition or those meetings. So now, this time around, Accord is a separate political party. We are focused on our own activities. We are not here to be joined other political parties that have agitations with the current administration. Not like we don't have our own agitation as well. But for us to be in that kind of conversation, there should be clear-cut agenda. What is in place? And when we look at all the parties involved, look at the likes of His Excellency, former former Vice President
Atiku
Abubakar, the former Minister Aregbesola. Those are the people.
Rotimi Amechi.
Those are the people. Name them. If you call 100 people in that gathering, you will see that they were in position of power in the past. What did they do? Are they coming together now to fight for the interests of the Nigerians? So we want to know. Accord, we are focused on our party. We are focused on structure building. We are focused on retaining power. We are not here to be pushover. We are here as a major player. So we care less about any coalition meeting or summit they have. So this is the stand of Accord. We are focused on our what? On our party for now.
Now to ask you,
can I just
Okay,
bring
good.
in an intervention? You see, in our society, this society I always see that rather than embrace change, embrace innovation, embrace what can bring succor to our people, we continue to blackmail so many processes because of individual that are involved. Tell me, is there any in Oshun, Ademola Adeleke has been a senator before now, Abi? Was a member of APC before he moved to
the
PDP, and today is the sole financier of Accord, even in Nigeria. Let's just think of it. So when people gather together, you only mention one side, which is the coalition of ADC. You've not mentioned other political parties that are present there, like PRP, NNPP, the leadership of NNPP. Those are the people that think they can come together to rescue Nigeria.
So do those parties have national outlook?
Of course, they have.
Of
course, when you go to even to National Assembly, what make an opposition? Is it not National Assembly? We have how many political parties we have in National Assembly that form the oppositions in the National Assembly? ADC and some others.
So how many of these legislators won this seat on your own ballot as ADC? How many of them?
You see, they might not want.
Because it's on record that some of them eventually crossed
I'm
your
coming.
political
That
party.
is because we are forming a coalition. We have not denied the fact. This is a coalition. We are not talking about ADC, Aborigine ADC. We are talking about coalition. And when you are talking about coalition, it's expected that some people will come on the platform, one election on the platform of certain political party, and then change their affiliations because of the arrangement on ground. And that is not seen there. In Nigeria law, Nigeria constitution has not debarred anybody, you understand, to move from one political party to the other. More so, those people move from one political party to the other. Their party has a crisis, unresolvable crisis.
Okay, would you like to react to that very quickly?
Is there something that I mentioned from ADC? I said top 100 of people that attended that program, they were one way or the other had position before. And when we are talking about coalition, we are saying that what do you intend to do differently? So we want to be very sure, because Accord, it is masses friendly and is powered by the people. And if you want to...
In your state.
Let me land, please, sir. So when we want to talk about politics, as far as the Accord is concerned, we are a factor come 2027, and we are playing that game actively. We are not here to just be like you call us and we answer you and you just want us to follow you sheepishly. No, we are saying that you want to coalesce, let us know what is on ground. Who are those people championing the cause? That's what we are saying here. We are saying that we shouldn't attach it to the members of the party or what have you. These are the leaders that we know. They are the one fronting ADC, PRP, PDP, and the likes. They've been in this position before. They've actually, governors, former governors, commissioners, and all. What are you intending to do differently this time around?
And you have not asked that question. You see,
so
when you look at that gathering, you've not discussed, reviewed the content of the communique. Yes, I'm coming.
Hello.
When you are talking about personality. You have not discussed the issue of the communique that even border relevant to the election process, electionary process in Nigeria. It talks about the communique talks about the kind of loopholes in our electoral act and some other things, which is those points is very relevant to our political development. In any gathering, if you organize a talk show and then just to elicit ideas by which we can govern our society, it doesn't matter whoever. So what matters is how can we implement?
Okay, you want to
are those things relevant today?
I want to quickly react to that.
Okay, you can talk.
Is there something about the communique? You said you still have legislators in the House. What were they doing before passing the electoral act that we are having now? What were they looking at?
Oh, definitely you don't know the legislative process.
Hello.
If you know the legislative process, we have members there. Agreed. I'm coming. Agreed. But you know that some of our members raise us those objections, and you know that majority will always carry vote. Of course. And that should not be the point. You need to raise here. Because we are talking about having many people together, and then when you put your ideas down and you raise objection, if they put it to vote, definitely the majority will have. Have you ever heard that some of those members voted for all those clauses in the electoral act? They rejected it. They held, all the opposition within the National Assembly held the press conference to that effect to show their grievances.
Has Accord actually reacted to any of these issues and clauses in the electoral act?
I granted interview a day after the electoral act was pronounced, and I said that now, as an opposition, there are things that we should have done in the past. I mean, 2024, we should have actually prepared for all these things. Now it has been passed. Like you said, Accord has no National Assembly member. So
there was no way you could have reacted to that?
There's no way.
Okay. So now we don't have a member. Could have reacted to that.
Hello, sir. So we have no members in the House. So now it has been passed to law. So now what do you expect Accord to do? There's nobody to push on our behalf. The LP, Labour Party has members. ADC has members. PDP has members as well. So why didn't they try to push for us prior to the enactment of the act? So we are saying that it has been passed. That's our own position, that it has been passed. Now, how can we, as a court party, how can we work around it? That's the next thing for us as a court. So yeah, I'm not attacking a personality. What I'm saying is that our court as a party, we cannot join hands with any party without having clear-cut vision and idea of what we are entering into.
Okay, just before I ask you that question that I will ask you now, I want to ask Barrister Sabin Kwadilowo in less than 1 minute. I want you to answer this. If, at the end of the day, the coalition is there, and then your political party, the ADC, or maybe the aborigines in the party, did not get a fair share of what is on ground, would you still stay in this coalition?
No, do we have anywhere to go? We are the owner of the party. Do you want us now to abandon our house and leave elsewhere?
Has the party been hijacked from you?
It has not. I just mentioned a very sound judgment. You understand? Party has not been hijacked from us. We only understand, we only understand that when you want to move together with certain people, you have to compromise certain positions, and that is what we have done. If there's any grievances at all, understand, we know the due process to follow. And we have been taking advantage of such opportunity provided by laws and some other enabling policies. And that is what we are doing now. There is no way anybody could hijack our party, because then what are we holding on to? It makes sense. If truly we want to serve people, we need more people. We need more hands. We need some other people to come together in order to serve our people better. You can't just say with certain strength, your membership strength, and that you cannot traverse the entire Nigeria to convince them about your policies. We need more people, the people that have a national outlook, that people can. No, you see, what winning elections here is not about. It's not about who you know. You mentioned about the structure the other time when you are talking about Accord is building structural accord. It is structure that win elections.
So you agree the Accord has structure?
No. I'm not saying whether they have it. I'm only trying to address what you mentioned. You understand? It is structure. If somebody could successfully build structure, viable structure, that person should be sure. It's not within the political party. There are other structure outside
the political
party
that wins an election.
Okay. And it now depends how you can maximize that structure.
Badru Oriyomi, let me ask you this question. Some have said that politicians in Nigeria only talk about national interest when the election is fast approaching. And after the election, probably they have won some seats or two, they forget about national interest. Is that true?
Well, like I said earlier, that the majority of our politicians, they play politics of convenience rather than national interest. You know, and when you look at the majority of our politicians that will be elected, especially let's domesticate it to your state, how many of them can we really say we know them deeply? It is during the time of election that they engage media, they start selling them to us. Not like we know the antecedent like that. We don't really get to know them until when it's time for politics. And for someone that you don't even know, and it comes to you, they engage your country about that. They come with huge sum of money, they buy vote, and they feel like we have actually transacted. And the next thing is that in the next 4 years,
deal is done.
I can come back and still renegotiate another time. So now, I don't blame them. I actually blame our people. You know, our people should know that their interest is supposed to be the first priority, rather than running after politicians, recycle leaders. Because they promise us, it's not about how far you've been in that position, but how well did you perform in that position. So yeah, it is not as if they forget us. That is their usual way. If you don't know me, and by chance we meet on the road, we greet and exchange greetings and all, that's the end of it. If there's no means for us to meet again, I won't bother myself to look after you. So yeah, the interest of the people supposed to be the priority. look at their well-being, security, health, education. It is not about me, my family, and my cronies. It's about the general populace. So yeah, anybody coming in 2027 should make sure that he really connects with our people. He should know their realities. And it's not about financial watches this time around. It's about connection. How people can, see you. How did they see you? What do you tend to offer them? It is not about, I can do this, I can do that. You have to show workable plans, feasible manifestos.
Believable ones.
So it's not about outrageous project. I will do this in the next 3 months. My first 100 days will be like this. Tell us what you can do. And people should know the antecedents of a candidate matter most. So that should be the priority in 2027. Not about he has so much fun to splash around. It's about credibility, competence, and integrity. That should be the keyword to look out for.
We want to round off on this particular topic and then discuss the other part of the show this evening. In 30 seconds, if you look at the coalition setup in Nigeria, how viable is the coalition, especially with you in the coalition as we speak, and then Badru Oriyomi, as an outsider, looking at the coalition currently being built by the ADC and some political juggernauts in Nigeria, what does it look like for you as it stands?
Well, should I go first?
Yes, you can.
Well, to be very honest, this coalition of a thing should have happened way before now.
You think they don't have enough time?
It is not about, I don't know if they have, but
you don't know how prepared they are.
Yeah, I don't know. But what I see, we know what led to the formation of APC. There should be a clear cut, there should have been a clear cut of how we are going to zone different positions. If you want a viable opposition, let's take for instance the APC. When they wanted to come together in 2013 or 2012, there was a pre-planned agreement that the presidency would go to this place, the Senate president, the chairman, they've actually schemed everything out, proud to the election circle that time. But here, we have many head of Hydra in the coalition now. Every head wants to be the ringleader. So these are he is the publicity secretary of the ADC, one of the coalition party. He should be the one to speak much on that. But what I'm saying, from an outsider perspective, I don't see how viable it will be and how long they can, endure. It depends on the internal cohesion and, how they can resolve their issues amicably, like Riley said, that they don't have crisis. And I want to agree with him that they don't have crisis. He said they only have dispute. And I believe that they should be able to resolve the dispute as quickly as possible.
Barrister Dilawo.
The coalition is very viable. Not in terms of personality, but in terms of the structure, in terms of the programs, in terms of every other thing. And because of viabilities of the opposition, coalition, that's what leads to the G3 of the ruling party. The ruling
think
party,
they are afraid?
They are afraid. They have been scheming in what way or the other. In fact, I can tell you for free, because they've seen this coalition ferry as a strong platform that can
challenge the
ruling party. They have been trying to induce certain members, promising appointments, some other things which we are aware of. Apart from that, they've also tried to put fingers in some key sectors of the society, key agencies of government that has to do with the issue of elections and some other things, security, judiciary, and even INEC itself.
So you are saying they are using state tools against the opposition party?
Not ADC alone. I want to sincerely tell you that some political parties that are not forming part of the coalition, they've already created a lot of crises within, factions within. In case these people want to migrate from this political party to another, they will still meet
the same crisis they are facing in their political party.
It was orchestrated by the ruling party. And that is why on many fora, President said that he has joy.
The opposition parties are in disarray.
Disarray.
Isn't that supposed to be? Is it his responsibility to fix your
It
party?
is not his responsibility, but it does not fit. It does not befit a father of nation that fought for democracy to be thinking in that line. Is very low of him.
Okay, that would be something we really have to come back and discuss some other time. But there's something really pressing we should address this evening. Just recently, at a gathering, the governor of Oyo State, Engineer Seyi Makinde, made a statement. And some people are really questioning why the governor made such statements and what it could mean for the future of democracy and zoning and some other ideas when it comes to election in Nigeria and Oyo State, to be precise. Let's watch this material, and when we return, we'll discuss briefly on what the governor said. We'll be back after this time out.
There's been a lot of discussion going on right now. Ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́, the next governor, Mùsùlùmí ló yẹ kó jẹ́. Mo fẹ́ bẹ̀ ìyẹn ẹ gbàdúrà o, because ọkàn ọba àti ìjòyè ọwọ́ Ọlọ́run ló wà. Ẹ gbàdúrà k'Ọlọ́run yàn fún wa. Ó yẹ tí a lè kọ̀ntínú iṣẹ́ tí à ń ṣe yìí, tá a lè tẹ̀síwájú. Mo kúkú ti sọ pé kí wọ́n mú statistic wá fún mi at the appropriate time, má share ẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí, gbogbo àwọn senators tó ń represent Ọ̀yọ́ State l'Abuja Mùsùlùmí làwọn mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, Senator Sọ̀rọ̀fàdé Nàlẹ́, Idris Akíntúndé àti Fatai Buhari. Ní sáà tí ó lọ before eléyìí, àwọn mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta tó represent Ọ̀yọ́ State Mùsùlùmí náà ni wọ́n. Kọ́lá Balógun, Fatai Buhari àti Senator Teslim Fọlárin. Ní sáà tó lọ before ìyẹn, àwọn tó represent Ọ̀yọ́ State Mùsùlùmí ni àwọn mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta náà. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, Senator Ridwan Sọjí Àkànbí, Senator Mansoura Sumanu àti Senator Fatai Buhari. Àwa ò fi ṣé ìbò Mùsùlùmí nìkan ló gbé wọn wọlé nígbà yẹn. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣera wa lọ́kàn. Ìlọsíwájú ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ó ní gbàdúrà fún àdúrà wa sí gbà.
All right, that was His Excellency Engineer Seyi Makinde while addressing the pilgrims who are set to depart Oyo State for Hajj. And he made some statements about his own statistics as regards who's been dominating the political arena in Nigeria. But before I bring on board my guest this evening, the phone line is on the screen, and you can reach out and, of course, call in the show this evening and drop your 2 cents, your comment. But then, let me start with Badru Uriyomi. You heard what the governor said. He spoke in Yoruba, but quite simply, it meant so much when we interpret in English. And he was able to pass a message to the people that in the last 3 administrations, the senators representing Oyo State, they have all been Muslims. So, if you had Muslims in Oyo North, Oyo Central, and then Oyo South, for 3 consecutive terms, and they have been Muslims, then there should be justification for what he wants to do now. I want to know what your opinion is about that.
Well,
and was the gathering the right gathering to make such statements?
To be very honest, it was actually not the right gathering to make such a statement, considering how volatile our political arena is in Oyo State. His Excellency shouldn't have made that kind of statement, because it's actually like setting tones for religious politics. Because what you are trying to tell us is that indirectly you are telling us that you are presenting
a Christian candidate as a successor.
As a successor. Fine. Nobody will crucify you for presenting any candidate you deem fit. But you shouldn't have made that kind of statement at a sent forth for people that are going to holy pilgrimage. So he made the statement at the art camp in Olodo. So I expect His Excellency to be very decorum in terms of this kind of topic, because religion is a very key and very sensitive matter.
Delicate issue.
When we're talking about politics, we know how tribal people went in 2023. So we turned politics to politics of bigots, tribal politics, religious and stuff like that. We should play a politics that is inclusive, irrespective of your religion, your race, or whatever. The governor is a father for all. He should have actually made another statement, like praying for your state to be prosperous, to allow records or anything that can cause destruction for the state, rather than making such a statement. I actually expect more.
Okay.
From Mr.
Barrister Bimpe Adelowo, in 1 minute, let's
governor is governor, and is entitled to his
opinion.
One thing I found out is this: when politics were approaching election,
the political season,
we always raise different unnecessary issues that has not contributed anything or had any value to our political system. It only divides us the more. I know that governor did not just make such statement. He must have had a lot of things, and must have been in a way where people must have been saying a lot of things. So, and that is a reaction to all
he's heard.
So, and he's entitled to that. He's a governor. He will not be governor tomorrow, next year. So he will leave the stage for others to come in. But the decision of who to become governor in Oyo State, or one thing or the other, lies in the electorate and people of Oyo State. Unless, if you now take what governor says serious, it shows that what we are saying, that the electorate do not have power again. The masses, the people of Oyo State, will not have sense again to choose whoever they like, whether Muslims
or
Christians.
Okay. All right, thank you, Barrister Bimpe Adelowo, for joining us in the show, on the show this evening. Badru Oriyomi, we say thank you to you for joining us this evening. It has been a wonderful session in here. But as the road to the next election begins to take shape, one thing is already clear. The battle ahead would not only be about parties or personalities, but also about purpose. Will political coalition be built on conviction or convenience? Will opposition parties offer Nigerians a genuine alternative, or simply repackage familiar ambitions? Will Oyo choose competence over sentiment, or will identity politics define succession? These are the questions that will shape not just the next election, but the quality of leadership that follows it. Many thanks to our guest this evening, Badru Idris Oriyomi of Accord, Oyo State, and Barrister Bimpe Adelowo of ADC, Oyo State, for sharing their perspectives tonight. And to our viewers out there, we couldn't take phone calls because our time is fast spent on the show. Thank you for staying with us on the Poliscope on Dominion Television. I am Samson Balogun, and this conversation continues afterwards. Good night from here. Bye for now.